you have absolutely zero coding experience, that's completely fine. At some point, you should learn how to code. Personally, I learned how to code without, doing vibe coding, but you can still get a fair bit done without any coding experience using vibe coding and quite quickly as well. In fact, even developers are starting to use vibe coding for daily tasks because it's so much easier than using an API. So let me give you an example of this in plain English. I want to view my LinkedIn profile and have an AI assess it for me and tell me, how good is my profile? Like, how does it shape up? Like, am I a good fit for the job market? Answer some general questions and send that report to my email. Simple task, right? Actually, no. This idea requires two separate APIs, LinkedIn API and Gmail API. And reading the docs and going through all the work to get that API working is just such a hassle, such a hassle. Like if you were to try to do it, you would like start banging your head against the wall, especially if you're a complete beginner coder. So I'm going to show you how to use MCP and Composio to do it really quickly. And despite the fact that I am experienced in using APIs, I've opted to use Composio for many of the APIs that I would have originally used completely manually. And you can call me vibe coder, I don't care. So I'm going to start completely from scratch, like entirely from scratch. And I'm not going to use any of my pre-existing knowledge. If I have a question, I'll chat GPT it and I'll completely emulate it. In fact, I'm going to set a timer on my phone and I'll show you exactly how fast it is. Like 10 minutes tops, it'll take me to actually get this done. So let's start off by going to Google Colab, right? So if we want to go to Colab, we can create a new notebook, right? Colab is a lot better for testing versus stuff like VS Code is a lot better to actually write the stuff. So let's call this our LinkedIn profile test, Gmail test. So what we want to do is go to composio.dev, sign in, right? I mean, this is going to sign me into my account. Um, I mean, this is not like what is supposed to happen, but you automatically go to this thing. So this is like the start page, right? So what you need to do here is just pip install this, right? And then obviously you need to put an exclamation because it's collab. It has a little bit of like a weird like configuration like that. And let's go to our first tab, right? Let's start with LinkedIn. So in LinkedIn, we want to get my info, right? We want to get all the stuff about me. So first of all, we need to install this. I mean, obviously, right? And it's installing some libraries. I'm not using UV, so UV is a separate thing, which makes installations a lot cleaner. So now this is all the code and stuff that I need to use to get LinkedIn like my information. So as you can see, these two things are missing. So I'll just briefly tell you what to do here. While these two commands run, I'll basically explain this. What I'm doing here is called pip installing. And pip installing is where you get separate libraries for stuff to work. So for this, it's just pip install Composio LangChain. Whether you need like for this specific library to be recognized. So whether you need the exclamation mark or not depends on what you're using. Since you're using Colab, you need an exclamation mark. So while that's running, let's also copy over the email code. Within email, we need the functionality to send an email, right? So if we go here, we can just copy. Like this is so easy as compared to my other stuff. Like everything is already written for me. I don't even need to prompt AI at this point. This is really going to spoil me, to be honest. So let's stick this in here, right? And right off the bat, we can tell this stuff is the same as this stuff. So intuitively, we should be able to delete it. So same thing here. I mean, same stuff. And we can also delete this because this is a repeat of that. And look at how nice they are. They already auto-populated their API key. I don't even need to go create an API key, do all of that stuff. None of that is even necessary, right? So now the only thing that's missing here, and you wouldn't know this if you weren't like a coder, is you need an API key here. So all you have to do is just put API key is equal to quotes, and then you just go to platform.openai.com and you can just literally search API key, and you need a developer account, which you can create. It's just a simple flow. So let's just call this test and make it like a default project, right? So And by the way, this key I'll delete after the video. So I mean, you can't really use it. Then I've created this, right? This has been completely built out. Um, and what this is going to do is this is going to get all my information. So let's just say here, whoa, one more thing. Actually, if you go back to the quick start, you'll be able to kind of intuitively see it from here. You're supposed to run this command from GitHub, right? We're not using GitHub here. We are using LinkedIn and we're using email. So we need to actually do that here. Add Gmail, right? Let's actually run these two in separate cells so you can kind of see how this works. So I need to copy this over into my browser because this is Gmail, right? And this is the CLI key that I need to use, and it's asking for an authentication. Just paste that in fast. And I have an existing, I'll just replace it. Here you want to enter OAuth 2 because that'll just help you sign in. Bearer token is for more like development heavy use cases. So you just literally click on the link. It's so fast. All you have to do is like literally sign in using your Google account. Like what Composio and like Current Value are doing is just crazy. Like this is like unheard of, like how fast this is. Like this is taking me, I'm literally like I've got more than 5 minutes on the clock and I'm almost done, right? Composio, add LinkedIn, right? This is the other thing we're using. So we obviously need to add it as well. And I actually use my other account for LinkedIn. So let's see here. Yes, let's replace our LinkedIn connection. Fine. And we need to copy this over to my other stuff here. So let's just sign in. And we are authenticated. Like it's just so fast. It's so fast. I mean, and now all we have to do is literally give it instructions. It's so simple. All we have to do is give it instructions. Get my information. Period. That's it. That's all I need to do. Like literally, if you look at this, right? If you look at LinkedIn, what they say in Composio is that to get your information, it's not loading. Yeah, to get my information, you don't need any parameters. You can literally just say get my information and it'll get your information for you. So this is the result, right? This will get my stuff, my information for me. And then tools. So we actually need to redefine these tools to avoid confusion. Let's just call this LinkedIn and let's call this Gmail, right? Gmail, and we need to call this stuff LinkedIn here. So all of this is literally done, right? So let's call this agent 2 and agent executor 2, and let's call this Gmail, right? Now, the only other thing we need to do here is make this an F string. So we just need to basically make it so that we can add result in here, and we need to make this into result 2 as well, result 2. So now that we can add result in, all we need to do is send myself an email rating my profile for AI internships from a scale of 1 to 10. Done. Like I don't think there's anything I need to say. Obviously, we'll test, right? And rating, let's just say the attached profile. And obviously, we need to change this stuff. Actually, no, we don't. We need to change this. That's it. So now we are entirely ready to deploy. We can literally run now. And hopefully, I mean, if I didn't make any mistakes, it should work. We'll see in a little bit. This you can ignore. These warnings are pretty fine. They're just related with LangChain. You don't really need to worry about them. And all you have to do is sit back at this point. It'll literally get my information, right? Will it? Oh, it only gets, oh, I see. Actually, never mind. Uh, let's see here. Actually, so I think I misunderstood what get information does, but we still have 2 minutes on the clock. What this will do, right, is it will literally get our information for us. So this information, right? We will use it then to, I don't know, let's just write a post, right? Like if you go back to LinkedIn, right? If you create a LinkedIn post, you can just probably copy this, right? I think, yeah, you need the author. So you need your URL which you can see this is returning. So obviously, actually, I'll just literally directly copy from this. Um, and then we can just put this in here, right? LinkedIn 2, right? And this we can call agent 3 and agent executor 3. Call this LinkedIn 2 and call this LinkedIn 2 and call this agent 3. So now what we need to do is task 2 is equal to write a post with the following information. Oops. Whoops. Sometimes you run it on accident. So I'm just literally telling it to write me a post, right? Write, this post was written by Composio entirely. MCP is evolving at lightning speed. If you want to see this in action, please watch my YouTube video. I'll add it in manually in a few hours. That's it. Simple, right? Now we have task 2 done, right? So we just need to use this actual result system and call this result 3, task 2, right? And let's actually call this task 3 and execute task 3. So let's actually say send myself an email. Oh, we have 10 seconds left on the clock. I'll go, how about this? I'll go 5 minutes overtime on this. Yeah, let me actually set another timer for 5 minutes. I didn't actually realize what the get info command does. Okay, so 5 minutes, right? Send myself an email rating the attached profile for AI internship. So we'll actually change our use case here. Well, let's just say, please send myself an email summarizing my new post, um, based on summarizing my new post. Myself, and I'll also add I'm Thirsh Gupta. So so now let's actually read it from start to finish, right? This is Composure toolset. We don't need any of this stuff again, right? This is the first LinkedIn tool. Step 1, get my information. Agent, create OpenAI functions agent this. So now that we get my information, right? This result is going to give me that weird code that we're going to use for the second thing, right? Step 2, make a post, right? We're going to use this to create a post. So this agent, actually, let's literally call this agent 2, right? So we're going to use this. Then task 2, let's actually make this an F string, as I made the last thing an F string, and include this result over here. What that's going to do is that's literally going to give it this, this weird user ID that you saw, right? That's going to use that. This AI is going to use it to authenticate that, right? Then this post is literally going to be used to like make the post, right? Then this result 3, let's call this actually result 2 for simplicity. Agent executor 2 invoke task 2, right? And the final thing is send myself a summary email, right? Basically, Gmail will be sending an email, right? And this will send an email about like the post that I just made. So task 3 will literally be sending myself a post. This should be result 2. So result, yeah. And then result 3 will be this and print result 3, right? So let's just walk through my thing because I have like 2 minutes on the clock left over, right? Basically, what I'm doing here is I'm adding an OpenAI API. This enables me to use ChatGPT as a developer. Then this is getting all the stuff for an OpenAI functions agent. This is one of the key parts. This is just making it so that it can like actually execute functions. This is my Composio API, meaning I can use all of Composio's stuff. Then this is just getting a specific action, get my info, right? It's going to get my name and it's going to get my user ID. Then it's just going to get my information. And then it's going to give me this result. Then I'm going to actually write this post, right? Then I'll also provide it user information. And this is going to be the content of the post. So I'm giving it my authentication and the content. Then it will invoke this task, right? And then the final thing is actually send me an email summarizing my post based on result 2. And result 3 will actually do it. So let's run it and see if it works. Getting my information, right? Let's see if it actually worked. Okay, now comes the fun part. Let's actually check if LinkedIn made this post, right? I can go to my thing and bang. Look at that. I mean, that's crazy. I didn't do anything. I mean, I did a little bit of coding, right? Like obviously like I just for the time for time's sake, but it literally made this post entirely by itself. I mean, imagine that. Think about that for a second. Think about how lightning fast that was. I didn't have to do any crazy API stuff. It did it all by itself. Like that's just okay. This makes me a little excited. I'm sorry about that, but like that's just insane that it can do that quickly, like crazy, right? And I mean, matter of 15 minutes, right? And I mean, I don't really like. Actually, I think I may have to. Um, hold on. Let me actually run this in a new cell over here. And I'll just say like send myself an email. Actually, oh, summary of your new LinkedIn post. I don't even need to do more stuff. Whoops, it didn't I actually did it not work? Best input, write myself. Okay, so it didn't actually send the email just yet. Um, did it send an email? Send myself the okay, input. Hold on, input. Where's my output? Let's quickly check if it sent me on an output part. I've retrieved your information, your LinkedIn, blah, 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 blah. Your LinkedIn, okay. I will now send you an email. Let me handle this for you. Here's an email summary of your new post. Okay, so technically it should have sent me a post. I don't know if it did. Let's quickly check if it did. Um, that's actually kind of crazy. Let me actually check if um no, I guess it didn't send it, but we can actually quickly change make sure that it does that with subject line test hold on, new LinkedIn post summarizing. Yeah, so this should hopefully work. Agent, I see the problem here. Agent was agent 2, so that it was causing that error. Hopefully this will work. Let's see if it actually sent myself. What did I say it was? New LinkedIn post. Did it work? It did not work. Hold on. Technical difficulties. So send myself an email with this new thing, right? This is my input. I received your information, blah, 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 blah. Let me know this content. This post was blah, 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 blah. So let's go to output. I encountered an issue while trying to fetch your LinkedIn information. What am I using? Is Gmail named incorrectly? This is actually kind of bizarre. Anyway, I mean, you get the general gist of things, right? While somehow it didn't my Gmail stuff didn't work, for simplicity, it was able to um literally put this in. Like imagine that. Like that's crazy. Like it was able to literally make a LinkedIn post. And just to be clear, this is my very first time testing out most of Composio. Like I've not used Composio much before. Like I've used it once or twice just to kind of see things, or like I've seen its demo. But this is my first real time using Composio. So the fact that I was able to do this is kind of crazy. Like it's a very powerful tool, and MCP is really going to go places. So I guess this ended up not really being a very much of a beginner tutorial, and I'm not so sure how much of this made sense, but this should just show you the power of MCP and how fast it's advancing. Yeah, with that, I think that's the end of this video. If you like content like this, Please make sure to subscribe. Today was a little bit of an experiment. I might go back to traditional content like next Sunday, but I wanted to show you more of a development side video. All right, let's bridge the gap together.